stay humble, be patient, and keep working. Like I never once thought I would be able to have the opportunity to go to Clemson. I just kept my head down and kept working, and then God blessed me, and here I am today. So definitely just keep your head down and keep working. And the little keys open big doors, meaning like if you do the little things right, great things will happen. So like focusing on the minute details, just be humble, be grateful for everything you got. No reason to go rubbing in people's faces.
It's season 5 and you still haven't subscribed to the show? Shame on you. Honestly, it's a shame. Nah, I'm just kidding. That's your choice. I really would appreciate it, though, if you did hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, and turn on post notifications so you never miss a show. We're in season 5, so I want to say that I appreciate anybody that's been tuned in since season 1, or even if this is your first time ever tuning in. I really appreciate the support, and we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. But like I said, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you please smash that like button. I'm not going to start the video until you smash the like button. Seriously, smash the like button. All right, let's go. Wade Woodaz, welcome to the show, bro.
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Thank you for coming on here. It means a lot to me taking the time to do this. I know you're a busy guy who's been trying to do this for a little while, not too long, but I definitely appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No worries. Wade Woodaz, I had your sister Haley on a couple seasons ago, one of my first interviews. I appreciate her too. It means a lot to me just to have you guys both on here now. Probably get Drew on in the future too. Got to keep it in the family. I need to get Damien on here too, so get us all on here. But talk to me about your upbringing. You grew up in Tampa, Florida, 2 siblings. Talk to me about growing up in Tampa.
I mean, it's been nice my entire life. My parents never really pressured me to do anything. I mean, they raised me well, I think. I mean, it's been easy pretty much. They made everything easy for me. I'm thankful for them. So, but yeah, they let me do what I want. Then they always put me in the right position. Like going from CDS to Jesuit, they put me in the right spot, and I can't thank them enough for that. I mean, the only thing I can thank them for is go accomplish my dreams. So
definitely. I want to shout out Mr. Todd, Miss Shannon. Definitely great people, always embrace me, my brothers. We've known you guys a long time. Like I said on Haley's interview, we started playing basketball together a long, long time ago. When I was like 10, 9, around there. And you, Drew, been friends with Damien, Dylan, my family. Our families are good friends. So I'm glad we're still friends. And I appreciate everything that you guys have done for us as well. Growing up, you played football, you played baseball. I'm sure you probably played a couple other sports. Talk to me about just growing up. You said your parents never pressured you into doing anything, but talk to me about playing sports coming up.
Yeah, so like whatever I wanted to do, they would let me play. So like I played basketball a lot when I was younger too, and soccer. And it was mainly like those 4, but they said whatever I fell in love with, then that's what I'll do. So I mean, but mainly I would say growing up, I just focus on baseball a lot because my dad was a baseball player, so I wanted to be like him. But then I mean, obviously things worked out with football better, so just staying the course pretty much.
So. I remember a couple years ago, like when you were still playing with the Predators, you and Drew were coming out to like basketball workouts and stuff with my dad, and I was like so excited. I think I was about to go to college, or like I was like in college, but my dad told me you guys were coming out, and I started to see you getting taller. I was like, all right, wait, might play basketball. Like I was kind of excited, but I'm definitely glad that you found what you love to do and started excelling in football, baseball too when you were older. But I'm glad to see how everything's gone so far with football. Talk to me about the process of you choosing to stick to football and taking it more seriously.
So all throughout high school, I mean, I played basketball my freshman year, but it was like extremely difficult because football season would run long and then baseball season would start short. So then basketball was condensed and I couldn't really focus on it. And I was growing a whole lot. So it was like extremely uncomfortable playing basketball. But so then I just decided when I got to Jesuit, because I know it's like way more demanding there, like the 2 sports. Like, for example, my football season was longer than the entire like first semester. Like I had more football practice than days of school. So it's like, how am I supposed to play basketball when I'm doing that? So I decided to play football and baseball only. And then it was balanced, those two. I got recruited a little bit for baseball going into my junior year. I got offered from Long Beach State and then USF. And then after my junior football season, it's like when I blew up with all these football offers, and I realized that I'll be there for free. So I was like, all right, I know what I'm doing. So
Definitely. Like you said, you went to CDS at first. When you first started high school, you transferred to Jesuit. Talk to me about a little bit about CDS and what that was like, and then or some of the things that went into the decision of going to Jesuit.
Yeah, I mean, CDS was like great people and everything. I still love everyone there. I still talk to them frequently. But I just think with my family and my little brother that like the competition level and how I would be pushed much harder at Jesuit would be a better fit for us. And then obviously like Jesuit helped us out financially as well. So it was like an obvious choice to make the switch to Jesuit.
CDS, Jesuit, they're both private schools, both high-level schools. Jesuit's an all-boys school. A lot of people kind of get hung up on that. I know when I was younger, I went on a visit to go see Jesuit and stuff, but like obviously I was immature and just thinking about being in school with all boys and like all that.
Yeah.
Just talk to me about some of the differences between CDS and Jesuit and just what it was like when you first got there.
I mean, no like rag on CDS, but like I think because Jesuit is all boys, it's so much more competitive. It's like imagine it's literally like fighting against your brother every single day, except there's 800 of them. So like on the football field, like y'all are going at you go at it in the classroom because there's not girls there like as a distraction. So you're like, there's no distractions at Jesuit, like if I'm being honest, like at school. But it's just literally, it's like the definition of iron sharpens iron because you're going against dudes every single day. So in all facets, like in the classroom and then on the field as well. And then at CDS, I mean, there's a little bit more distractions, but it's also not as competitive as Jesuit. So
if you're tuned into this show through YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you think should tune in. If you're listening to the show through a podcast service or a streaming website, please subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating, and leave a review. Leave your thoughts down below on what you think about the show. You talked about first getting to Jesuit your sophomore year after coming from CDS. Your junior year, you guys had a solid season. You didn't accomplish what you wanted to accomplish. Talk to me about your junior season, how that started, and what you guys were able to do.
Junior year it was kind of weird because it was the whole COVID deal. So, but I mean, we still did really good. I mean, personally, I kind of battled some injuries. I broke my hand, so I was playing with the club for a little bit. I had a big old like wasp nest on my hand, and then I separated my shoulder too. So I was like, I was wearing a shoulder brace, and then I had a club on my hand, so I looked like a Iron Man out there. And then, but yeah, we played really good all year. We hit our stride at the end of the season, and then when we played Heritage, I mean, things didn't go our way. They nailed a bomb, like 49-yard field goal to win it as time expired. So I mean, that was heartbreaking. But for my class, that set us up perfectly for the next year, for this past season, because we all knew how that felt, and we didn't want to feel that way ever again. So we switched things up and started working out in the mornings. We work out at 6 a.m. before school, and we were just extremely motivated this year. Pretty much, like my junior year set us up perfectly for senior year because we had a lot of dudes coming back, and we all had that same drive in the heart. So, yeah.
I think that's definitely major. If you guys would have won the state championship last year, it would have been, obviously it's always great to win a state championship. Not everybody gets the opportunity, but who's to say that you guys would have came with the same mindset that you had this year, the same drive this year. You talked about switching things up this year after falling a little bit short last year, working out at 6 a.m. with your guys. Talk to me about that process, just the preseason grind, when you guys started. I'm sure you guys started pretty short after last year, but talk to me about what led up to this year and some of the things that were different heading into this year where you guys won a state championship.
Yeah, so Coach Thompson came to us at the start of the second semester, and he was like, what do we have to do different to take us to the next level, to get over the hump? And so then we started like listing off a bunch of stuff, and then the one that stuck with us was 6 a.m. workouts. So we started that. We lost like the second week of December, and then so we did our Christmas break and all that. And then at the last week of January, just to show how quick that turnaround was, we started lifting. We're back in the weight room getting after it. We did 6 a.m. January all the way up until spring football, and then we had a little 2-week break after spring football, and then the whole summer we did it 6 a.m. every single day.
Definitely. I think that's probably exactly what won you guys a state championship, if you think about it. Like, people always say championships are won in the off season, and that's a lot of time that most programs aren't putting in. Like, obviously I went to Wharton High School, and we were good my first 2 years of high school. My last 2 years, they weren't that good. They've been on an uprise the past probably 2 years. So I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, but I know when I was in school, those guys, it didn't seem like they were on that kind of time frame. I know most people aren't working that hard high school football. That sounds like a college regimen. So I definitely feel like that has to be a big part of what led to you guys winning the state championship. You talked about your junior season facing injuries. You guys came up a little short, still had a solid season. Talk to me about this past season and some of the ups and downs that you guys had, what it was like getting to the state championship and what it was like winning overall.
Yeah, so obviously, like it looks all good on the stat sheet, like 15-0 and everything, but we hit a little lull after the Aquinas game because our energy was so high, and then just for us to go back to playing like teams that weren't that caliber, we kind of like laid off the gas a little bit. But our coaches were getting in us for sure, and we brought it back, and then we were hitting our stride. I remember about Tampa Catholic, that game was like we beat them 42-0, and that was when we realized like, all right, like it's go time. And then we blew everyone out after that. We beat Hillsborough. We shut them out 42-0. Braden River, they only scored 9 on us. We had like 7 shutouts in a row after our coaches were getting in us. So, and we all know what happened in the state championship and everything. So,
definitely. I think it's so amazing that you guys are able to win that. I saw that on a bunch of snaps, everybody at the game. I saw it on Haley's snap. I just saw it so much. I didn't know so many people like that I was associated with Jesuit. It was crazy. I definitely think it's major that you guys won that. It's kind of self-explanatory. Winning the state championship is obviously a big deal. Not everybody gets a chance to even make it to the playoffs in high school football, let alone win a state championship. So I'm happy that you guys got that. Off camera, you talked about your rings that haven't came in yet. They're hiding the designs for you guys. So I know I'll see that when those come. I'm excited to see that. Again, I'm really happy for you, and I'm glad you guys got that done after all your hard work, for sure.
Thank you.
What was it like these past couple of years playing with your younger brother, Drew, like sharing the field with him and being able to be teammates?
It's been awesome. We've had our times where we headbutt, but he's still my little brother, so I love being on the field with him. And hopefully, I've already like started recruiting him to come to Clemson with me. So it was good to be able to play with him. And I'm really happy towards the end of the year when he started figuring things out and he was getting on the field more. It was cool to line up next to him. Yeah. So hopefully we can keep it going when we go to college.
For sure. I hope that does happen. I saw both of y'all in the Clemson picks on the visit. I was like, yeah, Drew has to go to Clemson, bro. That would be so lit. Yeah. I always think about that. Like when I saw Drew playing for Jesuit, I was like, dang, if I could play with my younger brother, like that would probably be lit. We're just a couple of years too far apart.
Yeah.
We're like 4 years apart. All of us are 4 years apart, so it's kind of impossible. But I know that's definitely a pretty lit feeling for sure. Obviously, I know if me and my brother played together in basketball, football, we definitely would probably argue all the time. But I mean, that's for sure. You argue with your teammates, you definitely don't argue with your brother. But it's from a good place, so it's not anything bad for sure. You talked about getting recruited a little bit playing baseball. Obviously, your recruiting started to pick up playing football after your 2 big seasons this past couple of years. Talk to me about your recruiting process and what that was like.
Yeah, I would say majority of my junior year, I told you how when I was younger, I wanted to play baseball a lot. So when I started getting recruited for baseball, I was like, oh, I'm all in. Like I love baseball. To like go play in college, that'd be awesome. So I wouldn't say like I like slacked off my junior year in football, but I mean, my head was somewhere else. Like I still gave it my all, but I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna go play baseball. But then once I got them offers, then I was like, yeah, I'm all in. Like this is what I want to do. So I dropped summer baseball. I stopped playing it, and then I just grinded in the summer, trying to get bigger, faster, stronger. And then it was pretty. I'm not gonna lie, it was really stressful this season because I didn't really have any like big time offers until like midway through the year, like week 7. So I was like stressing out of where I was, like what I was gonna do, and then I started blowing up with. I got Louisville first. I got like 10 offers in 1 week. It was crazy. I got Louisville first, and then all of them came. Utah offered me, Washington State. Trying to think of who else. TCU, West Virginia, Vanderbilt, and then after that, I mean, I was like, okay, I got schools that I really like, but it was stressful to figure out where I'm gonna visit because I didn't have it happened so late, so I didn't have enough weekends to go to all these schools. But then I took my unofficial to Clemson, and they offered me, and I was like, I'm in, I'm set. So
definitely. I remember obviously recruiting all sports for the most part, you see a lot of news on Twitter. You just go on Twitter, and even if you don't follow somebody, you just see offers and stuff like that, commitments, all kind of stuff. Obviously, I follow you on Twitter. When I saw I saw some of your previous offers, like before the ones you just talked about. When I saw Louisville, I was like, I think I texted my dad or Damien. I was like, oh yeah, like Wade's about to definitely blow up for sure. Didn't you go on a visit to Louisville?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that visit, but I mean, Clemson's been my dream school, so
for sure. Yeah, when I remember specifically seeing the Louisville offer. I was like, yeah, Wade's about to get some bigger stuff. Like I didn't think necessarily Clemson, but I mean, it kind of makes sense. Other ACC schools will be tuned in after that for sure. If you're tuned into this show through YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you think should tune in. If you're listening to the show through a podcast service or a streaming website, please subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating, and leave a review. Leave your thoughts down below on what you think about the show. You talked about it being stressful, coming late in the season, not having the amount of weekends that you really wanted to go and visit all the possible schools that you wanted to. What would be some recruiting advice you would give to somebody that's up and coming, that's going through the recruiting process right now or might be going through it in the future?
Just stay patient, because like I never once thought I would be able to have the opportunity to go to Clemson. And then I just kept my head down and kept working, and then God blessed me, and here I am today. So definitely just keep your head down and keep working and be patient. Something's coming. You
talked about Clemson being your dream school. You went on an unofficial visit. You liked what you saw. Talk to me about that visit. Obviously, we just talked about Drew being up there with you, your family, your mom and dad. But talk to me about that visit, how that went, and what were some of the things that obviously sold you on Clemson other than it just being your dream school?
So we went and we flew up the day after week 1 of the playoffs. And so we went in there, we went to the UConn game, and it was the military appreciation day. So they were rocking all purple. and their unis looked sweet. And it was packed to the brim. Like all 81,000 was there. So I was like, oh my, this is what real football is like. That's what I thought. It was pretty cool. They took all the recruits down over to, you know how they have the rock, they touch the rock and run down the hill.
Mm-hmm.
So they took us and we got to like see them all touch the rock and run down the hill. And it was crazy. I was like, this is insane. And then, so we stayed for the game. The weather was perfect. And then what sold me was how they offered me. So Coach Dabo pulled me into his office, me and my family, and then told me he wanted to offer me. And I was like no coach has done that. Like it's like so personal. Mm-hmm. And he like, it's just different than everyone else. So they're extremely personal with everything. And they like, you can tell they genuinely care. Like a lot of schools, they just like throw you an offer and then they don't talk to you. But these like Clemson genuinely cares.
For sure. I kind of somewhat can relate about the part just being there, being at the game. I was in Gainesville for JUCO for like the past 2 years, and I went to a couple UF games. And just every game, I would just catch myself just looking. Like every game's like sold out, just looking up in the stands, like seeing all the people chanting and like just cheering for the team and stuff. Whenever a big play happens, you just hear everybody yelling. Like, so it's probably it's a little different for you because that's where you're going to school. That's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be out there on the field playing for those fans. And like, I think that's definitely probably, I don't know, like I couldn't imagine being a college football player or like a college basketball player at like a Power 5 school, just thousands of people just watching your games and stuff. So I'm happy for you. I'm excited to see it. Clemson. I'm a Clemson fan now for sure. Hopefully I get to see you and Drew ball out at Clemson. You talked about Coach Swinney offering you personally. What is that relationship like? And like, what is it like just knowing that you're going to Clemson next year? Clemson, that's a school, tradition of excellence, probably somewhat of a down year this year. Obviously they'll be right back on track. Talk to me about just how it feels to be committed to Clemson.
I mean, it feels great. Like me and Coach Dabo are pretty tight. Like, he'll call me. He calls me all the time. And he's just genuine. He's like, a lot of people, like, it seems like fake on the outside, but he's a genuinely good dude. And then obviously talking about like the down year, like I feel like this year represented like what Clemson football is about. Because I mean, we obviously know they were out of the college football playoff in September. And if you think about let's think about the schools that like went in the gutter, like Florida. You see what happened? Like they competed with Bama.
Right.
That was a good game against Bama. And after they lost, it's just – but if you look at Clemson, they lost early, and then they got better. They won 7 in a row and had their 11th 10-win season in a row. So, like, it just shows, like, I'm proud of, like, what I'm going into, and hopefully we can keep it going.
For sure. See, like, I said a down year, and that's only because they didn't make the college football playoffs. Like, exactly. So used to seeing them in the college football playoffs. Like, I'm sure if Alabama didn't make it, everybody would have said, "Oh, this was a bad year for Alabama." So it's just, I mean, that just goes to show, like you said, the quality of the program, the tradition of excellence that they have. They had a 10-win season, and people seem to forget about them. But,
exactly.
Yeah, for sure. I think, like you said, that's major for sure. I didn't know that they won 7 games. Like, I'm one of the people that stopped paying as much attention to them once they were losing at the beginning of the year. So I think that's definitely major for sure. Definitely attribute the Clemson program that they have there for sure. You're heading to Clemson this summer. What are some of the things that you want to work on in your game before you get there? Some things you want to fine tune before you get to college?
I want to get better at using my hands. Like I'd say I'm extremely physical, but I still want to get better at using my hands and being able to move people with my hands. Cause a lot of the times I just tend to, I like run around people or I just bump them because I'm stronger than them. But I know at the next level, I'm not going to be stronger than a 6'7", 330-pound lineman. So I want to get better at using my hands. And then also my ball skills. Like I track the ball pretty well, but I want to be like next level where I'm going to play linebacker. And if I can go shut down slot receivers like a cornerback, then I just feel like that makes me extremely versatile because I could go play in the box and I could go lock up a receiver too.
Definitely. I was definitely like, I'm really excited to see you play at the next level. Like when I watched your film this year, I was just like blown away. Too many big hits on there. Like I enjoy watching. I think I texted my dad right after I watched your film. I was like, this is actually crazy. So I was kind of wondering what position you would be playing in college, and you just said linebacker. So I'm excited to see that for sure. I also think what you want to work on and just being as versatile as possible. That's always a key in any sport, basketball, football, anything. The more stuff you could do and the more capable you are of doing multiple things, like as long as you're not one dimensional, you always have a good chance to be on the field, on the court, in games when you need to be in them. So definitely excited to see you play at the next level for sure. What are some of the things that you're looking forward to the most when you get there?
So I'm going to be I'm the only linebacker recruit so far in my class coming in. So to learn from all the older dudes that have been there a while, I mean, it's really a blessing because I'm going to be the only one. So they're going to like have to teach a younger person is going to be me because there's no one else. So for them to be there like a mentor to me would be pretty cool. And then obviously, I mean, being up in South Carolina, the 4 seasons, like it's going to be nice. So
definitely. I kind of got my first taste of multiple seasons. I'm in West Virginia right now for school. Right now, we're in the middle of a snowstorm. It's like probably like 15 degrees outside. We're supposed to get 17 inches of snow tomorrow. Like, it's just crazy. But before it got super cold, it was kind of like when we first got here, it felt like normal. It was like 70, 60. It was kind of hot sometimes. But like as the season went on, like in the fall, I started to see the trees change colors. Now I watch all the leaves fall off the trees, snow everywhere. Like, so I've never seen any seasons other than summer and a couple of weeks of winter. So I think that's definitely something that you'll probably enjoy for sure. Seeing snow. I can't say, I don't know if you've seen snow before, but like my first time seeing snow was a couple of weeks ago. I went sledding down this big hill that we have on campus because there was so much snow, but I definitely think that's something to look forward to. Definitely an experience for me. It was, at least, for sure. If you're tuned into this show through YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you think should tune in. If you're listening to the show through a podcast service or a streaming website, please subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating, and leave a review. Leave your thoughts down below on what you think about the show. Now, to wrap up the show, we're going to do the last segment. I call it Crunch Time. Crunch Time's the last minutes, fourth quarters, just the end of the games where you got to lock in. You got to do what you're capable of doing. So these last couple of questions to wrap the show up, just going to see what you got.
All right.
What's been the biggest obstacle that you've had to face to get to this point so far?
I think during the summer, like not getting all the love that I previously thought I deserved and like working so hard just to get let down. But I mean, like Wake Forest, they told me I went to a camp and I went and talked to Coach Clausen, the head coach, and he told me I was undersized and I wasn't a Power 5 player. And I was just like, I was like, oof. But I mean, that was obviously an obstacle, but I just kept my head down, kept working, and now I'm going to go be a rival to Wake Forest. And
right.
Smack. So
now you get to smack them up every year.
Yep.
Forget that guy. What advice would you give to your younger self if you could go back in time and just tell yourself a couple of things?
Stay humble, be patient, and keep working.
Definitely. That's major. What's something that a random person wouldn't know about you, but your close friends, your family, they know about you?
This one like isn't related to football, but I was born deaf. Like I couldn't hear.
Yeah. Wow. Fully deaf?
I think just partially deaf, but I had like tubes put in my ears so then I could hear. And then, my mom knows the full story. I don't really know it. But
that's crazy. That's probably the craziest fact that we got on here. I ask that question pretty much on every episode. People give me like baloney answers. That's crazy. What's the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
Just keep working. Like what you do in the dark will show in the light. So just keep working.
For sure. What's 1 to 2 quotes that you take with you every day to help you get through your days that you just keep in mind?
Little keys open big doors. Meaning like if you do the little things right, great things will happen. So like focusing on the minute details. And then another one would be just be humble, be grateful for everything you got, and don't no reason to go rubbing in people's faces. So those two mainly.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself, hopefully I'll be in my second year in the NFL, getting some playing time, doing well for myself, hopefully.
What's your why? What keeps you motivated to just keep going, striving to do great things?
My family, just getting that free education and making my family proud, making people want to say that, oh, I know him. That's why.
Sure. If you could meet and spend a day with 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
One would probably be like Jeff Bezos, just so I can like know how to finance my money. Another person would be Michael Jordan. I mean, he's the GOAT.
Chill.
Nah, he's better than LeBron.
Chill. Don't do that. All right.
And then I would say like Luke Kuechly, because he's kind of who I look up to, like to be able to play like him. So,
yeah, Luke Kuechly is a real baller, a real Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
I wish he could play forever. That's somebody that I always like to watch, and I'm not a football player, but there's certain people like him, Bobby Wagner, Jamal Adams, like there's guys like that I just like watching for sure. Definitely. But yeah, that's a nice 3: Michael Jordan, Luke Kuechly, and Jeff Bezos. All right, I like that 3 right there. Wade, that's legit. Yeah. All right. Last but not least, the last question I ask everybody: who's somebody that I should have on the show next? Whoever you say, you got to help me get them on here. Who do you think I should have on here next?
You should get Damian on here. That's who you should get.
Thank you, bro. You got to tell this man. I asked him to come on. He being all Hollywood, don't want to come on. I need to get Damian on here, but
I'll text him.
Yeah, I think he should come on here for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Woodaz, I appreciate you coming on here. Definitely means a lot to me being able to chop it up with you, talk to me about some of the things going on recently, state championship, Clemson football commit. Just really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Is there anything that you want to tell people that's watching, any motivation, any last words before we log off?
Just be humble. That's it.
Sure. Short and sweet, simple, be humble. Wade, where can everybody find you on social media, Instagram, anything you want to plug in?
It's pretty simple. It's just my name, Wade Woodaz. You see me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all that. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. Simple, Wade Woodaz. Everything will be down below in the description. Follow Wade. Be tuned in. Clemson football next year for sure. Wade, thank you again. I appreciate it. And that's it for this episode.
Thank you.
If you're tuned into this show through YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you think should tune in. If you're listening to the show through a podcast service or a streaming website, please subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating, and leave a review. Leave your thoughts down below on what you think about the show.